Welcome back to Boltage Bros. My name is Jarom, and today we're going to be talking about Mercy, a movie starring Chris Pratt. In this movie, Chris Pratt plays a guy named Chris, who is the CEO slash creator slash department head, I don't really know, of this company who built an AI who was able to judge people instead of a court. And after this AI having a few successful runs, Chris Pratt ends up being convicted by the AI of a crime that he may or may not have done. Now, it's so funny. There have been so many AI movies that have come out recently, and they all kind of sound like they have a cool premise because we're all wondering what AI is going to be like and how it's going to affect the world around us. So these questions pop up and different movies are made about the premises that could happen, but usually they don't land very well for some reason. So at the beginning of this movie, Chris Pratt is just sitting in an empty room with walls around him that can turn into screens so he can investigate himself, basically. And he's introduced to this AI played by Rebecca Ferguson. And the AI basically says, you've been convicted of a crime, and using the tools at the AI's disposal, which is basically every camera in the world, we are going to figure out if Chris Pratt is guilty or not. Now, it sounds like this movie can stay in the pocket because it starts out in just this room, but because Chris Pratt can literally see every video camera in the world, it does not contain itself in this room, which I was a little bit disappointed by. I like movies that can feel contained. I like myself a bottle episode movie. I'm a big fan of 12 Angry Men. We recently watched The Long Walk. All it is just a road and a conversation between people. We also just watched Begonia, which all just happens in one house. So I like the idea of having a small cast, small space, where you really rely a lot on the script. Anyways, I'm just trying to find something positive to talk about because this movie was definitely not that. This movie is like watching a TikTok video for an hour and a half, just scrolling through your feed, one thing to the next. Things are constantly moving. Numbers are flashed in your face. Videos are flashed in your face. There's music constantly. It never gives your brain a rest. And being in the movie theater for this movie was making my head hurt. I got home and I was like, I had to close my eyes and just reset because of all the spinning motions and all the screens that Chris Pratt had to watch. At least the movie is coherent and it kind of makes sense. It does kind of all have to be spelled out for you and you just watch as the story unfolds. There's no real mystery. But I will say that Chris Pratt does a good job at least making this movie watchable. It's obviously not his best performance, but I don't think that he's phoning it in, especially at the start of the movie when he wakes up in this room. He's freaking out, he's crying. And then at other times in the movie, as he's trying to figure out the case, he has to be focused and direct and on it. So it was cool to see the range that Chris Pratt has in this one movie. I think if this story was taken into someone else's hands, slowed down a bit instead of being all flashy, and removed some of the outside extra things that go on to make it an action movie, I think this could be a cool premise for an AI movie. There's just too much going on and you just become bored and numb after 20 minutes of watching. And what's with all the AI movies being nice to the AIs? I'm pretty sure AI is starting to write some of these scripts because it's making AI seem like a good option. Where's all the movies where AI is totally bad and turns into robots and kills us all? I want my murdering robots, okay? So this is a normal January release. It's not gonna get that much pull from audiences. It's not gonna make that much money. It doesn't have very much depth. This movie definitely seems like it could have come straight out on streaming. I don't know why it went to theaters, really. So definitely a movie that fits into the regular January releases. That being said though, January is not that bad of a month for movies. I just figured out because we get to watch everybody's top 10 movies of 2025. And I've been going through different people's lists on YouTube and watching those movies. So January isn't all bad. But anyways guys, this has been Boltage Bros. My name is Jarom. I've got a bolt.